What's up guys, welcome back. Thanks for checking out another video. Sorry, this is not a Boxster or Cayman video. I know I get asked that in the comments always whenever I post a Porsche video, but stay tuned. We are working on the Porsche Boxster and Cayman kit, and I hope to have some updates for that soon. I'm eager to share that stuff. The 911 stuff is just taking longer than expected, but I will be sharing some Boxster and Cayman updates soon. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. But I recently added another Porsche to the collection. I picked up this 2000 Porsche 911 Carrera 4. This is a 996.1 all-wheel drive car. I basically needed to be able to validate that the kit that we've created that works on my 997 will work the same on a 996. There are a few subtle differences between 996s and 997s, a lot of them to do with the wiring and the CAN bus. I needed a car to do all that testing and validating. So this car came up. This car spent a bunch of its life in Hawaii and Texas. It is super sun damaged. The paint is terrible. A lot of wear and tear. I think it's got like 200,000 miles on it. It's due for a refresh, and I am all about that. I really do like these project cars. I want to try to return this car to some of its original glory. So we are going to be doing a full K-swap build and say a partial restoration. I can't start taking it apart just yet, but I do have some parts lying around that I acquired for this car, and I wanted to start putting those on. I picked up a set of OEM BBS wheels. I really like the way these wheels look on 996s, so I grabbed a set of those. My friends over at K24 hooked me up with a set of their Track 1 coilovers for the Porsche 911, so we're gonna be installing those. I also have a steering wheel and some Recaros. I have a set of black DC5 JDM Recaros, and I kind of want to see how they will fit and work in this car. I think it'll be super cool to kind of turn this into maybe like a track-oriented car. But because we can't start the K-swap just yet, I need this car to be running, and it does run. The engine has a horrible knock, but it does run, and I can't take it apart just yet because we are going to be doing the CAN bus reverse engineering on this car, and it needs to run until we're finished that. But in the meantime, why don't we make it look a little bit better? Put the new wheels on, put the coilovers on, test fit the seats, the steering wheel, maybe fix up the sun faded headlights, and see if we can get this car looking half decent. So why don't we get started and see how this thing turns out. All right guys, so got the car all jacked up, and if you've noticed, this thing has yellow calipers, and if you're a Porsche guy, you would normally associate yellow calipers with carbon ceramic brakes, but no, someone just painted over the silver calipers and even taped off the original Porsche port so it would still say Porsche. Just something funny. I'm gonna have to do something with this calipers because this kind of drives me crazy. That's a future problem. Either way, the car's on jack stands, ready to start taking it apart. I got the Track 1 coilovers over here. I've used the Track 1 coilovers on a bunch of my cars. I had them on my all-wheel drive RSX Type S, K24 Turbo all-wheel drive RSX. I have a whole video series on that if you guys are interested in that. I also used a set of Track 1 coilovers on my 8th gen Civic Si that I turbocharged, and there's a whole video series on that as well if you're interested. These coilovers were great on both those cars. I'm eager to see what they're like on this Porsche, so why don't I unbox them and we'll start installing them. So I have a couple of the coilovers unboxed. I have a front one and a rear one. These are super nice. They come with an adjustable top hat that can take care of camber on the front. They are dampening adjustable coilovers. They come with little Allen key things. And you can adjust the dampening. So pretty good value for these things. They were great on the RSX and the Civic Si. So anyways, let's start installing them, and then we can see how low we can get this 996 on these coilovers. Let's get started. All right guys, so we've been working on these headlights, and we bought one of those Amazon headlight restoration kits. Looks like this. It's like 30 bucks or something like this. And I've seen videos of how this works, and it is super cool. So we sanded down the headlights, and we have this like kit that heats up some special fluid, and let's see how this works on this headlight. It's supposed to restore it like perfectly, which it is doing a pretty cool job. Like, this headlight was destroyed and it's like making it like perfectly shiny and clear again. We'll take our time and do this whole headlight, and then I'll show you the results at the end. All right, guys, so we did one full headlight and I am blown away. This is crazy how well this kit has worked. This headlight was basically garbage. Like, you can see this is the prepped headlight, so it's all sanded, but like, it was basically no clearer than it is right now. And it's gone from that to this. Super cool. I was prepared to buy brand new headlights. My friend here, he told me about this kit and I ordered one, and I am blown away. I'm curious to see how long it'll last like this, if it'll fade again, but for now, this is fantastic. So we're gonna do the other one, we'll continue on, we'll start putting the coilovers on, the wheels, and let's see how we can transform this car. All right, guys, both headlights done, and wow, what a difference. The only issue now is that it is quite obvious that maybe the wrong headlights or bulbs were used in these headlights, because they're all burnt on the inside now. That you couldn't see that really before, but now that they're so clear, you can. And oh well, it is what it is. They look fine. They're good enough for now. Maybe eventually I'll figure out how to replace that inside piece or just get new headlights. But from 10 feet, it looks pretty good. So headlights done. I've been working away on removing the suspension on the rear. And considering it's from Hawaii, I thought it would be rusty, but it's not. And then maybe it spent a lot of its time in Texas, I honestly don't know, but so far everything is coming apart super nice. This is not at all like working on a normal car from here in Ontario where everything is rusted. Nothing is rusted. It is coming apart so easily. So I've probably just jinxed myself, but either way, rear suspension's out. I'm gonna tackle the front suspension and then start installing the coilovers. So let's continue on. All right, guys, suspension is all apart. I definitely did jinx myself by saying the rear was going so easy. The front was a nightmare. The drive shaft is stuck in the spindle, and the drive shaft is all, I don't know, it's toast. It's gonna need a drive shaft. Actually, it's gonna need a drive shaft on both sides, but that's a future problem. We're just gonna put it back together as is and take note of what needs to be replaced, such as the drive shafts. It needs full brakes. But we're gonna do all that stuff once we put this car on the lift over there and start the process of case swapping it. But so far so good. We did get it all apart, and now we can start putting the new coilovers on. I have them over here again, and these coilovers are pretty nice because the way they work is you can adjust ride height independently of spring tension. So the coilover has like two adjustments basically. The top perches adjust the spring preload, and this bottom perch is an adjustable cup, and you set the ride height by adjusting this lower cup. I think the plan for installing these coilovers is I'm gonna put it to its lowest setting, see where that puts us. Then we can measure how much we wanna go up from there, make that adjustment, and it should be pretty accurate, and we can fine tune it from there. So yeah, let's get the coilovers on so we can get this car back on the ground and see what it looks like with the new wheels at a much cooler ride height. All right, guys, wheels are on, it's back on the floor. It is ridiculously low, which is okay. We're gonna adjust the coilovers now. So now we have a starting point. I think the front needs to go up maybe about 1/2 inch. The rear, based on, this side's messed up because we actually had wood underneath the tire to be able to get the jack out. It's way too low. Based on the other side though, I think we need to raise the rear about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches almost. So, I don't know, let's get this jacked up again, get the wheels off, we can adjust the coilovers. Also, the fitment isn't as flush as I would like. So once we've adjusted coilovers, I'm gonna put the spacers I have on at the same time so we can see how it looks. So let's jack it back up and adjust the coilovers. All right, guys, so we've adjusted the coilovers and put some spacers on the car, and I'm pretty happy with how the back looks, but I think the front needs to come down a little bit So we're gonna lower the front about 1/2 inch more so the fender gap matches the rear a bit better. But I'm liking the fitment of the wheels better now with the spacers. We went with a 10 mil up front and a 15 mil spacer in the rear. Looks pretty close. I'm not sure if it's gonna rub, but it looks good. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's lower the front about 1/2 inch more and see how it turns out. And you guys can let me know what you think, if I went too low or if it's just right. All right guys, let me know what you think in the comments. How much better does the car look lowered with these wheels? I am extremely happy. Don't get me wrong, the car still is in terrible condition and needs a ton of work. The paint is horrible, but like, I can look past all that. I think it looks so much better already with the new wheels, a better ride height, such a good start to this. So I'm pretty happy with the ride height. We could probably tweak a bit more, but new springs always settle a bit. And once we put the K-swap in this car, the rear is gonna come up a bunch, so we're gonna have to play around with the ride height more. So for now, I think I'm pretty happy with the ride height. It's basically where we want it. We have one more thing I wanna play with. I have a set of JDM Integra Type R Recaros that I think would be pretty cool in this car. I'm not a huge fan of the leather seats in this car. They're old and tired. I kind of want to replace them with something else. So I think we're gonna pull these seats out and test fit these Recaros, see how well they fit, and if it makes sense to try to make some brackets for these seats to bolt them into this car, because I have a new toy that I've been making stuff with that's gonna be helping me a lot with the Cayman and Boxster. I have this CNC plasma table. This thing is absolutely amazing. I wish I had bought one sooner. It is so good for making stuff, but and I can whip up a set of brackets to bolt these Recaros in fairly quickly. So we're gonna test fit them in this car. If it makes sense to put them in, then I'll whip up some brackets. But right now, I think the car looks great. You kind of have to lean into the looks of these cars and just appreciate them for what they are. But the wheels and the fitment with the spacers and the ride height have really improved this car a lot. We still have to deal with the paint. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Paint this car, wrap this car. Let me know what you guys think. I am not a fan of the color. It's like a champagne color. Oh, one other thing I really wanna do is I love the look of I guess it would be like the GT3 or Aero front bumper that you can get for these cars. So I'm gonna try to find one of those bumpers. At least one of the bumpers, maybe the side skirts, maybe a rear bumper, I don't know. That stuff is a ways off. For now, we're gonna pull the seats out and see if we can make these Recaros fit. All right guys, Recaros are in, both seats are out. I am really liking the look of these Recaros in this car. It completely changes the interior. One last thing is the steering wheel. I have a steering wheel on order. It didn't actually show up in time. I have a Momo Mod 7 steering wheel that I'm gonna put on this thing, and I think that'll completely change it. Additionally, I gotta do something with the dash. It has fake wood trim on it that is all flaking off, and I honestly don't know what to do with it, but either way, we've made some progress today. The car looks much better than it did. The Recaros look awesome. The wheels look awesome. The ride height is cool. And I'm really digging this 996. I actually kind of like how rough the paint looks. It's gonna be a cool car. It's gonna be all refreshed mechanically, drivetrain wise. It's gonna make like 400 to 500 horsepower. It'll handle well. It'll have cool seats, but it looks like crap from the outside. So I don't know, I kind of digging that. All right guys, so it's actually been like 2 weeks since we started playing around with this car and put the suspension on and test fit the Recaros in there. And having this car sit around with these wheels and the Recaros in there, this car's really growing on me. I kind of love how ratty it is. Like, I like how bad the paint is. What's really, because it's been around here and I've been looking at it more, it's super interesting. Like, I'm pretty sure the paint is all gone on the roof and this is just aluminum. I'm pretty sure this is aluminum roof, and it's all just kind of exposed aluminum now. It's just crazy sun damaged, but it adds to the character, the charm of this car. It It's really growing on me. And what I like about it is that it's kind of crappy, but then it has some cool parts on it. It has like suspension, it's got wheels, it's got the Recaros that add to its character. And then to finish this off, the one last piece of the puzzle is gonna be this steering wheel. This is a Momo Mod 7. I think it's gonna be a great final touch to this project. I have a special horn button that I'm gonna install on this steering wheel in this car. So why don't we pull out the stock steering wheel, put this one in its place, and I'll show you what I got for a horn button. All right guys, steering wheel's installed, and I must say I love it. It is such a good addition to this car. I'm gonna show you it from the front in a second, but man, does it ever look so much better in this space with that steering wheel. So, like I said, special horn button. As you know, I'm a Honda K-Series tuner, and this car is gonna get a Honda K-Series, so one of my friends happened to have an extra horn button lying around, and he gave it to me, and I think it is the perfect addition to this steering wheel. It is an Acura NSX R horn button, so I think it's kind of fitting. This car is getting a Honda engine, and it's got a Honda horn button on its Momo steering wheel. So let me know what you guys think. It's obviously super controversial, and I know a lot of people will hate this, but I think it's a cool touch to this build, the Honda horn button on this steering wheel. There is still a ton of work on this car. I gotta sort out all the trim on the dash because it's terrible. I can look past all of that and just admire the car for what it is, with the steering wheel, with the seats, the wheels, the stance, and soon to be a new engine. Let's pop the trunk, hood, bonnet, engine bay lid. Let's see, I think the shocks are blown, so, oh no, they'll stay up. So this is the original Porsche engine that's in here. We're gonna pull this out soon and put a Honda K-Series K24 with a turbo kit and do the full build of this car, of this engine swap on this channel. So hopefully you guys are interested in that. I know a lot of you guys are gonna be super eager to see the full build on this car. So yeah, first thing we gotta do is move some cars around. We gotta get this thing off the lift, and then we'll start pulling the engine out and share as much as possible along the way and try to do this as quickly as possible. I wanna see kind of how long it'll take us to do this swap, because we have all the parts ready to go, and share with you guys what it takes to do one of these swaps, start to finish. So we're gonna wrap the video there, I think. As always, thanks again for watching, guys. If you liked the video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, and we will continue to keep making these videos for you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.